Hey guys, and welcome back. You might realize we're at the stereo shop, and I'm doing that mostly for convenience. I am using my phone again this time, unfortunately, because of some limitations of stuff going on in my life. That's pretty much what I'm stuck at. And we're going to look at the CD player I've been using as my regular on and off for the past couple years. So if you watch the channel, or if you see my personal channel when I did videos on there, I was using this as my main CD player, my 90s setup, in my room. Kind of double said that. And it's done good. It does have one issue though, which we'll get to. Turns on just fine. This is a CDP-397. We'll take a look at the Orion Blue Book. I'll see in here when it says it was made, and then we'll also look up on Hifi Engine. See the info there. Oddly enough, it doesn't look like this one's actually in here. Well, this is a 90s model. It doesn't seem to be here at all. There's no 397 or even the 297 variant of this. Model is just not in this Orion Blue Book from 2003. So I'll try to remember to put the screenshot in front of this on the video editing. But in Hifi Engine, it says this was made between 92 and 93. It did come with a remote, which we'll get to eventually. And there are a bunch of different specs on here, actually. The digital converter model is a CDX2561BM. The CD mechanic is a KSS-240A. That will mean something to older people, or probably people that actually have worked on these, but if you're a standard user like me, it doesn't mean as much as long as you don't have to service the unit. So let's take a look. It is a little scruffed up for me moving it around for a few years. Works fine, power's on. Opens and closes just fine. We do have play mode, continue, shuffle, program. I don't really use these, I usually just play through an entire album. Then we have check, clear, time, repeat, fader. I don't really use those, so we'll just leave it off. Play mode, something I don't really do myself. There's a headphone jack with a headphone level. If you just want to listen to headphones and don't have a full audio setup, you can do that. Then we have the play button, stop button, play and pause button. We have these buttons to go through tracks, but also to fast forward and rewind. So depending on how much you hold them, if you push it, it should just go through tracks. If you hold it down, it should fast forward and rewind. Then we have edit, fade, and music scan mode. Those are features that some people with CD players back in the day would use, but for my use, I prefer just to play the CD as it was intended and recorded. Nothing too crazy. This is a standard size, so it will fit on top of most receivers as long as you don't have a compact unit. On the back here, we do have a little clip for you to put the wire or to run the RCA cables and clip to it. Standard output, RCA left and right channel. We have the model info on the date. This one was made in Japan, and this is actually made in September of 1992. Actually has the certification sticker on the back. That, oddly enough, isn't on all models throughout the late 90s and then early 2000s and onward. It does help you have an idea when these were actually made. I'm going to plug in some RCA cables, and we'll actually test it out. Usually at this point, I'd be setting it up in this place with the metas. Also, please keep in mind, and I've mentioned this in other videos, on YouTube you have audio compression. I'm not using a perfect mic, so there's that. So even if I did have a good audio recording and a perfect mic and setup, you would have YouTube's audio compression. You can only hear so much. So we're going to just kind of display it. I am using some Boston acoustic speakers that are off screen right now. And I'm using a vintage Pioneer Power integrated amp. Well, integrated amp, my bad. One problem that I've been having with these videos is finally solved, and I've saved it for an occasion like this. I do have a planned video with this as soon as I can get a hold of something, my budget ever allows it. Trying to open it up off screen. So my biggest issues with playing these is I would always have CDs or albums that would have copyright infringement or DMCAs. You know the gist if you know about making videos and music. The musician that I usually stream with, Dan Mason, actually released this album about a year ago. I bought it brand new. I just open it now, so hopefully it's not somehow a bad pressing and defective. As far as I know, I haven't heard of any bad pressings. It is Devil Killer, and this is inspired by music on the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 era. Although he said PlayStation 1, I believe, and press stuff, it sounds more like PlayStation 2 music, racing music at some points. Devil Killer. Devil Summoner is the first track on it. Single Gambato. I mispronounced that, I know that. Toonami Lounge. Pick a effing car. That was on the other single. Spill Strawberry Milk. Mental Media. PS2 Breaks to Commit Crimes 2 Volume 4. I love that one. Anime Intro to the Ending of the World. Has that kind of aesthetic. I'm pretty sure it used A on the back. Enough about this. Oh, look, it actually has PlayStation themed things on the bottom. NFO ESAB rating. So, enough about that album. I'm sure most of you just want to see about the CD player. We are going to put the disc in. So, I didn't get this used with the remote. I did get a remote, though. And many of you have told me, and I've shown this in a video before, and this is the one video issue I've had with this player. Somehow the IR sensor in it is broken. Someone mentioned checking to make sure I had a working remote. Well, I've checked batteries multiple times, and through thrifting and eBay, I have 3 different remotes. The same model. This is the one that was supposed to come with it, a RM/D295. D295, just making sure they're all the same one. All of them, same model. Try that one. Try that one. Nothing. So yeah, I've even checked the whole trick with seeing if the IR sensor is reading it by pushing it up to a camera and seeing the light. This is a weird issue. I've opened it up before. I don't think I saw any loose wires. If you think I should open up and see if that part's easy to replace or if there's a loose thing in a future video once I get space, let me know. But just odd. Everything else works. Don't know why the IR sensor would just die unless there's a bad cap in that area. So we're going to start to play. Let me make sure that the volume's at an okay level as well.
Time to go through the checklist. The circle, check. Candles, check. Salt, check. Alright, we're all set. Your assistance?
Yeah, so that playback works fine. Pausing works fine. Everything works fine on it. I haven't tried these shuffle features. It's just not something I usually use. Let me change the volume. But yeah, oddly enough, I don't really see single disc CD players used in my area as much, at least not Sony branded ones. I've seen plenty of cheaper brands and Optimus and whatnot like that. But most of the used ones I find in my region are 5-disc or multi-disc ones. Let me know what you guys think, though. I'm probably going to still use this as my primary unit, even though the remote thing is going on with the lack of the iReader working in it. Let me know what you guys think about this unit. Have you ever used one? Have you ever thought about grabbing one back in the day? It's been like over 2 decades since this came out, so I'm sure there's some people that have stories in the comments. What do you think about it? And do you think I should do more CD player overviews? Spoiler, I do have 1 or 2 ready to do after this, so I want you guys to all take care. I want you to enjoy, and as usual, stay safe. Bye for now.